Hello, and thank you for joining me today. This is Michael Vasquez, and I'm here today speaking with the First Ward candidate, Giovanni Scaringi, and he's taken some time today to give us opportunity to ask him a few questions to get to know more about him and his campaign. And rather than talk to me, let's get right to it.
How's it going, Mike? How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good to see you again. Very good.
Now, this is an interesting race.
Sure.
All of the city council are up for re-election or up for election itself.
All 7 seats.
Yeah, and you're going up against Mr. Savage.
Yep, Councilman Jerry Savage. Yep, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, Jerry Savage, and so he's been an incumbent for a while.
Yep. He got elected in 2011, ran unopposed that year, and now he's running for re-election this year.
Okay. Of course. Yeah, there's always background noise,
There's
right?
Always.
But I'm looking at. Well, let's take a step back.
Sure.
Before I ask some other questions about politics, let's ask about the man.
Sure.
Okay. So, you're an economics professor.
Yep, at SUNY Broome.
And you also did a degree in philosophy.
Yeah, I'm currently finishing up my doctoral work at Binghamton University. I also got my MBA and my second master's, so now I'm finishing up my dissertation and then get that over and done with.
So a little bit of work.
A little bit of work.
But I would beg to say, a bit further than the rest of us on that stuff.
At the end of the day, it's a piece of paper. It's important, but it's funny. I'm first generation American, and my parents always pushed on me, as well as my sister. Education is so incredibly important. It's what frees you. It's what moves you in a direction that can really allow you to set your life up for success. So I think it's very important, and the idea of being a lifelong learner is also something very important to me. So it's a great opportunity.
Well, you mentioned something interesting. I don't know if a lot of people know this. You're first generation.
Yeah, I'm first generation American. Yep.
What's the background?
Italian.
Italian. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. So you've actually lived the American dream. You're living the dream of.
Quite literally. Yep. My family immigrated during the 1960s and gave birth to me. And, my folks obviously they got married, and we're still married today. I have one sister. She's 2 years younger than I am. My mother thinks she's doing a lot better than me because she's married and has 2 kids. I'm still single. I haven't found the right one yet. So when God puts her in my life, then that'll be it at that point.
Well, there you go. You got a plan for that too.
Plan for that as well.
That's good. Let me ask you. Let's go and discuss a little bit of the educational background, the
Sure.
academics.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people have a question about academics,
Yeah.
real world.
Absolutely.
Now, your degrees actually fall in line with politics a lot.
Very much, yeah. Political economics, public policy, business, finance, sure.
Okay. So, how does that apply? How would you say that background applies to politics?
I think it's very important in the sense that when you think about the academic rigors, right? Social scientists are really attempting to understand what's going on in the real world. Now, there's a divide here because the truth is, while I believe in education is fundamental and very important, it's not going to get you across home plate, so to speak.
Right.
You need those real world experiences as well. The academics only go so far, right? When you think about scholarship and research, there are a lot of assumptions that you make about things. So, for example, in economics, you're looking at the rationalization of consumers, why and why not that they make the choices that they make, intended and unintended consequences. But the truth is, the relatability to politics, I think, is important. But I think it's more in a broad sense about the importance of education. I consider myself very lucky. I teach at a community college. I get to work every single day with students who are from Broome County and really trying to hopefully shape their minds, increase their knowledge about markets, how the economy moves, how these big ideas like Social Security and taxation affect their lives on a really personal and individual level. But on the same token, I also do believe personally that the level of government that affects you the most is the closest. And for us, that would obviously be city government, the mayor's office, city council, things of that nature.
Okay. Now, you mentioned a couple things there that are real interesting. One, I've noticed that your students, and based on their reviews, which are online,
Yeah.
think you are a really tough teacher, but at the same time, and I found it very interesting, they also want to take your course again or would like to take another class with you.
Sure, sure.
So they think you're really tough, but you're really fair, and you do. And I saw several people who said, and I laugh every time I get out of the class. Every time I go to class, I get to laugh.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting mix.
Yeah, I think growing up, I was always the class clown, or at least one of them. Not in an overrated sense, but I think I've always believed that laughter is the best medicine. When you parse out, Jane Smith graduates from high school and now goes on to college, so she's doing her freshman year at SUNY Broome. It's this balance of not just that transition, but the academic rigors that college should bring, which overall I think it does. I use laughter a lot in my classes, and I think it's kind of meeting them at that middle place, implementing technology, but at the same time, I also believe in the more traditional things, using the chalkboard, really hitting the textbook, talking about those fundamental theories that really move markets and consumer behavior and things of that nature, how it affects firms and businesses, states and the global economy, and things of that nature. So I think when you bring it together, you set those academic standards up front, you let them know right away what you expect of them. And one thing I also always try to do, at least I try my best to do, is to also let them know this is what I expect from you. But there are also certain things that you should expect from me as your instructor, and I let them know that up front. I try to make myself available during office hours. I think students today really want that one-on-one interaction besides the classroom and outside of the classroom on campus, so to speak. So I try to bring all of those together, and I think it makes a good learning environment.
Okay. Let me ask you this. From that educator's point of view,
Sure.
that connection with individuals, does that play into the politics and the role that you're looking to see as city council?
Yeah, it definitely does. I think one important factor that I've noticed in talking to the tons of voters that I already have over the last couple of weeks, I think a lot of people in the city of Binghamton feel disassociated and disattached. They feel, for whatever reason, that things are slow moving, and because of that, it makes it incredibly difficult to stay impassioned about what's going on in your home, your neighborhood, your streets, your community. Binghamton is a great place, but we've also got a lot of tough problems that we have to tackle. We know what they all are. I mean, property taxes, the roads. We're here at the old school First Ward pool that opened back right over there in 1949. Seymour Avenue, which is actually right over there and extends off by the pool.
Right.
I'm not even gonna lie. The road literally looks like a landmine. I don't think it's been touched by a paving machine in years. Something basic like that. And then when you take all of those things together and add on top of the fact that if you are a homeowner in the city of Binghamton, your property taxes have doubled in the last 12 years. The city of Binghamton now holds the record for the highest tax city per capita in the state of New York. So when you look at what you're paying versus those basic city services that you expect, roads being taken care of, and so potholes, so on and so on and so forth, people understandably are going to get aggravated, and that's one of the major reasons why it motivated me to seek city council office.
Okay. We're going to pause 1 second. I just see something in the background.
Sure.
And hold on, and we're going to be right back.